You know, when you think of Antarctica, you probably picture this huge, white desert at the very bottom of the world, right? Well, you're not wrong, but it's so much more than that. It's a continent of extremes, and it's holding some of our planet's deepest, darkest secrets. So today, let's dive in and see what's really locked away in all that ice.
Okay, first things first. Let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this place. The ice sheet, in some spots, it's 5 kilometers thick. Yeah, that's over 3 miles of solid ice just sitting on top of an entire continent. Imagine what could be perfectly preserved underneath all that weight.
And the cold, I mean, it's just brutal. We're talking temperatures that can drop to minus 90 degrees Celsius. That is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. And that extreme cold? That's exactly what makes it the perfect time capsule.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What secrets are actually buried under all that ice? We're going to cover everything from ancient life to, yes, even visitors from space. What have we really found deep inside this frozen world?
All right, let's kick things off by peeling back millions of years of ice, because our first major discovery is a lost world, a place that looks absolutely nothing like the Antarctica you and I picture today.
Because, you see, Antarctica wasn't always this frozen wasteland. Not at all. All the evidence points to a past where millions of years ago, it was actually a pretty temperate place, covered in lush forests and just packed with life.
And what kind of life are we talking about? Well, think big. We're talking prehistoric giants. Paleontologists have been digging up fossils of actual dinosaurs down there, and even massive marine reptiles like mosasaurs and plesiosaurs. Get this, some of these creatures were a staggering 36 feet tall. Just incredible.
But it gets even weirder. Back in 2009, researchers found a fossil that was 25 million years old. It was this strange, cat-sized mammal that laid eggs. An egg-laying mammal. A find like that just completely flips what we thought we knew about Antarctica's ancient ecosystem.
Okay, so from ancient animals, we're now jumping to something even more unexpected, something that just shouldn't be there, evidence of ancient humans. So check this out. In 2014, archaeologists made this absolutely stunning find: human skulls. But these weren't just any skulls. When you put one next to a typical human skull, you can see they're different. They're strangely elongated, stretched way back. It just looks unnatural.
And this is a huge, huge deal. For starters, these are the very first human remains ever found in Antarctica, period. But that weird shape, it actually links them to an ancient cultural practice called skull binding, something we've seen in civilizations thousands of miles away, like in Egypt and Peru. So the massive question is, how on earth did they get to Antarctica?
All right, we've looked at mysteries from Earth's past. Now let's look up, because our next secret comes from way, way beyond our planet. Yeah, we're talking about visitors from outer space.
Believe it or not, Antarctica is basically the best place on Earth to go meteorite hunting. It makes sense, right? You've got this huge, white, flat landscape, so these dark rocks from space just stick out like a sore thumb. In just the last 50 years, scientists have found over 10,000 of them.
And some of these rocks have the most incredible backstories. I mean, take this one. It was literally blasted off the surface of Mars, flew through deep space for thousands of years, and then just happened to crash land in Antarctica where it sat frozen, just waiting for us to find it.
So what was inside? Well, researchers cracked it open and found organic compounds in minerals. Now, some scientists believe this could be evidence, not proof, but evidence of ancient microbial life on Mars. It's the super tantalizing clue in our big search for life beyond Earth.
Okay, now we're going to go even deeper. Forget about what's frozen in the ice for a second. Let's talk about what might be living under it. We're talking about a hidden world, one with total darkness and just crushing pressure.
And this is where things get really weird. This is Blood Falls. It's a waterfall, about 5 stories high, that just pours right out of a glacier. And as you can see, it stains the ice this shocking blood red color. For decades, nobody had a clue where it was coming from.
So the first question everyone asks is that actually blood? I mean, is something alive inside the glacier bleeding? Well, the real answer is actually way more fascinating. Nope, not blood, it's rust. So that red water is flowing from a hidden lake buried under the glacier. A lake that's 3 times saltier than the ocean and just packed with iron. The second that iron-rich water hits the open air and the oxygen, boom, it rusts instantly. And that's what gives it that crazy red color. But here's the truly amazing part.
In that completely dark, super salty, iron-filled lake, scientists found life. 17 different types of bacteria, just chilling, thriving with absolutely no sunlight and no oxygen. A discovery like this is basically a potential blueprint for how life could survive on other planets right here in our solar system.
Okay, for our last section, let's get into the really strange stuff. The discoveries that are so weird, they still don't have an easy explanation. This is the stuff that's right on the edge of what we know. So get this, the driest place on Earth is actually in Antarctica. Seriously, the McMurdo Dry Valleys. They haven't had a drop of rain in something like 2 million years. The atmosphere there is so thin and alien, NASA actually used it as a testing ground for its Mars rovers before they sent them to the real red planet.
But maybe the most baffling discovery of all was found deep, deep in the ice. An archaeological team was digging down, way down, about 1,100 feet, when they found the remains of something that seems to defy all known biology.
The reports that came from that dig described an 8-foot-long skeleton. It had this totally bizarre structure, with bones sticking out from its body, and it didn't match any known animal, living or extinct. Now look, these accounts are mostly unverified, kind of floating around on the fringes of science. But they really capture that deep mystery of Antarctica, right? That feeling that literally anything could be hiding down there.
And really, that's what makes Antarctica so compelling, isn't it? We found these lost prehistoric worlds, puzzling traces of ancient humans, even clues about life on other planets. And it all just leaves you with one big, thrilling question. What else is down there, just waiting for us in the ice?